Hello and welcome to SkySwitch University. In this unit we want to cover auto billing. Now I know every reseller is interested in auto billing, and we have of course many resellers that use Rev that are in our auto billing mode. Okay, so the first thing I want to cover, and we know you're very interested and we want to get you there as soon as possible. Okay, so the first thing I want to cover is bill cycle. When you start billing in Rev, there are two settings for bill cycles, and you can go with either or. It doesn't matter one way or another to us. There is the monthly bill cycle, which bills run on the first of every month, and so the first month is prorated. So the month that you activate service for a customer in, that month will be prorated. So if you activate them on the 15th of the month, that first month is going to be activated from the 15th to the end of the month, and then it's going to put them on a normal monthly billing cycle to be billed on the first of every month. Now, daily bill cycle is set so that when you activate the customer on the 17th, their first month is starting on that 17th and going to the 16th of the following month, and then from then on their bill cycle date will be the 17th of every month. It will be their anniversary date. So there's no prorating that first month. So you can have us set your bill profile to either do a monthly bill cycle or a daily bill cycle. And again, doesn't matter to us. You can go either way. We do have more resellers go with the monthly bill cycle and bill once a month. Go ahead and take care of that once a month, but others prefer to have the daily bill cycle, and that's perfectly fine. Now, the thing I want you to understand initially is we have you in a manual bill mode, a manual mode. What that means is there are 3 queues, actually 4, that get run in the system. There's the create bills queue, there's the email queue, and there's the auto debit queue. And then on the 4th one, it's the collections queue. Now, you can have just the first 3 and not have collections, and we'll talk about that in a subsequent training video, the collections process. Now, so when you're in manual mode, you're going to manually create your bills, you're going to manually email your bills, and you're going to manually take payments. Now we do that because we don't want to kick off automatic billing from day one and bad bills get sent out and you have headaches getting bills corrected, etc. We want the information that you're sending out to your customers to be just right and perfect. So we have you in a manual mode initially. You're going to manually create your bills, manually email your bills, and manually take payments. And we want you to go through at least 2 complete bill cycles of manual mode before we turn on automatic billing. Now, during that process, of course, you're learning the system, you're getting everything set up right, you're getting your usage rating set up right, and you're understanding the process, and then turning on automatic billing will go smoothly, and the bills will go out correctly. So when we take you through setting up automatic billing, we have what is a form that we're going to have you fill out that will be your email templates. These are emails that will go out to your customers. So here's the form, and I'm going to give you the link in there, and you can go ahead and get this completed. All right, so there's in here there are 5 different email templates that go out from the system. The first is a statement email. This is a statement email or bill email. So when your bills are sent out, when the create bill queue runs in the system and it creates your bills, and then it's going to email those bills, and it's going to the contents of the email are going to be what you complete here. Okay, and that's and the bill will be attached to that email as a PDF. So as you get into this, I'm going to point out here that there are tokens. There are data tokens. These data tokens allow you to insert into the emails certain information. for example, the customer account number right here. So when you put this into the email template, when it creates, 10 or 20 or 50 emails for you, because that's how many customers you have on your bill cycle date or dates, and it sends out that email, when you put this in the email template, it's going to insert the customer's account number. Here it will insert the customer's first name, last name, the customer's name, first and last, the due date, etc. So you can use these tokens as you create your email templates. Your bill statement email. The second one is right here, payment success email. So this email will go out when a manual payment is taken in the system. So if you receive a check from a customer, or it's the first payment and it's non-recurring charges or one-time charges, you want to take that payment. When you do a manual payment in the system, this is the email that's going to go out. That's the payment success email. The auto debit payment success email is when you have set the customer up for auto pay, or the customer has set themselves up for auto pay, and I'll show you how that's done in a moment. When that's done and an automatic payment is taken, this is the email that goes out when it is successful. And then lastly, here we have the auto debit payment failure. If that auto payment fails, what do you want the customer to do? And we give you an example here, but we want you to complete out exactly the content of the email that you want to go out. And then lastly, there's a credit card expiration email. If a customer has a credit card on file and it's going to expire within the next 30 days, then this email will get kicked out of the system to them, so that they will then update their credit card information. And again, what do you want them to do? Now in here we give examples. Let me show you here in the bill statement. We give examples of the customer possibly going to your portal. And there's a subsequent video. You see right here it says you can find information here on your customer portal at reseller.billcenter.net. Now, of course, this would be your name.billcenter.net, and there's a subsequent video that covers the Bill Center portal in setting that up for your customer. So, and again, these are just example emails here in the template that we suggest, but you state anything you want to state. You can mention your portal here or not. If you're not giving your customers access to the Bill Center portal, then don't mention it. Another thing about the bill statement email, we cannot distinguish between your check paying customers and your credit card customers. So this email, if you want to state something different for credit card paying customers versus check paying customers, then you're going to have to state it within the email. So something like, if you pay by credit card, blah blah blah. If you pay by check, these are the instructions. So just keep that in mind. So the form is pretty self-explanatory. You can use your tokens and just complete out the form and get it to us. And that's one of the steps in setting up your auto billing. Okay, so again, when we set up auto billing, again, there's 3 queues. We set up your create bills queue, which create your bills for you automatically. So if you have a monthly bill cycle, on the first of every month, the system's going to create those bills. Secondly, those flow over into an email queue, and that's why you fill out the email templates, and the email queue is going to run, and it's going to send out an email with the bill attached as a PDF. And then the third queue will be your auto debit queue. And so all the customers that are signed up for auto pay will then, the payment will be taken based on the payment account that's on the customer. Now, let's talk about that. You, of course, don't have to sign up a customer for autopay. They don't have to be signed up for autopay. Let's say you have a customer that pays by check. That's fine. So in that case, the bill will get created, the email will go out, and then you'll just wait for the customer to then make that payment via check. Okay, so let's talk about autopay. There are two ways that your customers get signed up for autopay. So here on the payment accounts, this is a demo test account. On payment accounts, you have your different payment accounts in here, and it gets filled up here on our demo site. But you will click on Manage Payment Accounts or Edit, and you will come to this Auto Debit, and you can enable it. And it defaults to enable for the due date, and we recommend that you use just the due date, but it does allow you to set particular days, but we recommend just setting the due date. Now if you want to give the customer terms, and in this case you would select then a payment account here. You can actually select a first account and a backup account if you put a backup account on the customer's account. So you can set up the customer for autopay, or the customer can set themselves up for autopay if you give them Bill Center access. Okay, so this is how you set up a customer for autopay. I'm going to cancel this. But back on the customer, here are the Bill Center users, and we can manage this user and impersonate the customer. And I just want to show you from the customer's perspective. They will mouse over View and Pay Bills and click on Autopay. And in that case, they can set themselves up for autopay. So they would either put in credit card or check information here, or they could select an existing account a payment account that they already have on file, and then they click on Enroll in Autopay. So either way, either your customer can sign themselves up for autopay if they have Bill Center access, or you can set them up for autopay here on the Payment Accounts tab. Okay, so those are the two ways your customers are going to get set up for autopay if you want them to be set up for autopay. And then the queue is going to run on the bill cycle date unless the customer has terms. Now let me mention how that works. If the customer has terms, so here's how you set that. On a particular customer, you can go to Edit Profile, and down here we have Override Payment Terms. Now the default is set to 0. What that means is for basically whether your monthly or daily bill cycle, your customer's payment will be taken on their bill cycle date, whether it falls on the 1st or some other day during the month. If you want them to have terms, let's say you want them to have 15 days terms, net 15 or net 30. Well, you can override your payment terms here, and you can set it here. And you would set it to net 30 and override the payment terms, so it would be 30 days after the due date, 30 days from the due date that the payment would be taken, or 15 days, or whatever you set this to. So you can override payment terms here, and if you want to, on a particular customer. Okay, so the bill cycle becomes important. It's important to understand you're in manual mode at the moment. Initially, we're going to want you to go through 2 complete bill cycles in manual mode before we turn on automatic billing. And you need to complete this email templates. You don't have to do it right away, just anytime, within those first 2 months and you're getting ready for auto billing. You need to understand that there are 4 queues that get run. Create bills queue, email queue, auto debit or payment queue, and the collections. And again, we'll talk about collections in a subsequent video. Now, what about reports? I'm going to point out here, we don't have a lot of good information in our demo site as far as reports. Let me just show you where you'll see those. You'll see those under Reports List, Shared Reports, and then here are the canned reports that we have in the reports list. Now, as you get more information in here going through your manual, run of your bills, and you start getting information, I do highly recommend that you spend some time in these reports, every one of them, just run every one of them and learn them. Now, if you don't find the information that you need in a report, we can build a customized report for you. There's no charge, and we can do that for you. Now, I'm going to just point out here what are the reports that will be important for you when you step into auto billing. Really, these would be important just for billing in general. Well, the statement report or bill report, it's called a statement report. When the statements go out or the bills go out, this will show what those statements were, those bills were. There is a monthly billing report that gets a little more detailed into what is being billed. There is a transaction analysis report that gives you actual real detail into the monthly recurring charges, non-recurring charges that are being billed that month for those particular customers. And then there's a reseller email log that will be important when emails are sent out from the system, whether you do it manually or they're sent out automatically via the email queue. The reseller email log will be important for you to see that those emails have been sent, that they have been opened. So that's going to be important for you. The payment report will show you payments made, rejected payment, just what it states. And then lastly, an aging report that will come in handy in regard to collections, 30, 60, 90 days type reports. Okay, so that is auto billing. Typically what we will do is we will set up an appointment with you. I want you to fill out this form, and then towards the end of those 2 months of full 2 months of manual billing, we want you to reach out to onboarding@skyswitch.com, ask for an appointment to cover auto billing. Typically, we just run through questions with you. We run through the email template form. We just want to make sure we want to be on the exact same page with you on how you want your bills to go out, the emails to go out, the auto pay. Make sure you're understanding that and the collections process. So that is auto billing. And if you have any questions, you can send those to onboarding@skyswitch.com. Thank you.